Yes. Right there in that corner.
Masterji Pranam,
But
you said imagine, and you said imagine your beloved. Now, I don't have a beloved to imagine. I'm falling in love with you. So can I imagine you when I'm doing meditation? Can you come and help me?
I'll be very happy if that helps.
Thank you. And there is an unrelated question.
If it helps, it will help you.
Thank you.
Okay.
The other unrelated question is, it's nothing to do with meditation. Who built the pyramids?
There are many pyramids. Were you referring to the pyramids in Egypt?
Yes, sir.
The Giza pyramids, yes, they were built by the Egyptians, but they built it by technology which is not known to us. The technology they used to move things was different from the technology we use now. In a way, we have become more crude in our technology, though we think we have advanced a lot. We have not reached that point when we can move things without the use of other forces than gravity. You will find it is going to come. You will see that same technology come back in this very civilization toward the end. The secret, now this is some difference, unrelated question, please. We're talking about technology now, all right? The technology that will come, which was used, shows that you have means to reverse the flow of gravity into any direction you like. And that will be used for all vehicular movement. It will be used for all mobility. There will be no need of petroleum, gasoline, this power, wind power, solar power. These will all become obsolete because the one power that exists, one energy that exists in abundance throughout creation is gravity. And gravity will be utilized. Let me give an example, a little story. In Flagstaff, the Grand Canyon, near Grand Canyon, lived a farmer. And he had an experience with a strange kind of aircraft that landed on his field. Now, we don't know whether that was really what people are talking of, but his experience, I'm telling you. His experience was a bright, shining object, circular object, was shining on top of his farm and would disappear. Again, it would come after a few days and disappear. Finally, it came and came bigger, became very big, and landed on his farm. This farmer is not highly educated. He doesn't know anything about technology. So when he saw that big thing land, he said, it must be a new kind of aircraft. Of course, aircraft are not built in that size nor in that shape. But he didn't know that. Then he saw there were windows, it's a circular thing, and there were windows which opened and closed like this. The windows opened, and some beings, some persons, wearing masks, gray kind of thick masks, wearing them, were peeping outside and moving their heads like this. He wondered what happened. They beckoned to him to come near them. And he said, this must be some new kind of show that has come up here. They're calling me. So they opened a ladder like an aircraft and invited him in. Then they spoke. They spoke like a recorded voice. When you put on a radio, there's a background noise to it, you know that. Against that, you hear the voice. If I'm talking to you, you don't see that background. If it's a recorded voice, there's a sha, then sha behind that recorded voice. It looked like they were not speaking their voice. They were replaying some recorded voice. In the recorded voice, they said that we are here in your farm because you are not a technology man, and we want to give this message to you that there are people living outside your universe. And we have just come to tell you that we will be making contact with you, that we fly in this kind of aircraft, and we are speaking to you through the recorded voice of other human beings like yourself. And that this aircraft which we are using will be the aircraft of your future also. And then they began to explain 3 big boxes that were lying there inside that cockpit of that aircraft. They said these 3 boxes are the means by which we travel. All they contain are methods to create gravitational plates. We create electromagnetic plates. And they explained, and he tried to remember because he was not a scientist at all, that what we do is we create electromagnetic plates which help us to go anywhere we like. They gave an example. They said, have you seen a waterfall? He said, yes. If you put a plate under the water, do you know what is pulling the water down? It's gravity of the earth that's pulling the water down. If you put a plate under that, the same water hitting the plate goes upwards. What is taking the water upwards? The same gravity. Supposing you tilt that plate and the water falls through gravity and hits the plate, it will go this way. That means just by moving the angle of a plate, you can create a direction of the use of a gravity that's only pulling in one direction. You can change the direction of this gravity wherever you like. We create, through these 3 machines here, enough electromagnetic plates, which the gravity pulls us, and when we alter it, we can fly anywhere in space we like. They said all other means, fuels, are limited everywhere in space except gravity. With gravity, you can go to any part of the galaxies, any part of space. And one day, your people will be doing the same thing. But since, if we brought this experience to a technocrat, to a people who's a scientist, people will say, he made it up, this story. You cannot make up this story. This man, the farmer, told his neighbor, whose name was Vern Tyler, who was a friend of mine. Vern Tyler narrated this story, but he was so fascinated, he also had experiences with those people later. When I heard this story, it made great sense to me, because I have myself experimented and said that the magnetic forces can be created by electrical circular movement of electricity. Electricity can be created by magnetism, and electromagnetic force is now recognized to be the single force, not 2 forces. And it can create a plate. We have created plates now. We are moving in that direction, but technology will come to this path many, many years later. And then we will be able to use that device. When I heard this story, something very strange happened, which reminded me of a childhood experience. When I was going to school, elementary school in a town called Ludhiana in India, I used to carry my bag and go to school. On my way to the school, there was an overhead railway track. I used to walk under the bridge to go to the school. One day, I was going to school with my bag, and I saw a train, coach of a train, looked like coach of a train to me, hanging up in the air. I had never seen that before. It's very funny. How can a coach leave the tracks and be up? And there's nothing holding it there. I saw the space between the coach and the railway track. I was getting late for school, otherwise I would have watched more. But before I moved on, the windows of the coach opened. I saw grey people with wearing grey costumes moving their heads like this. I had never told anybody. In fact, when I told my parents that I saw that, they rebuked me for having such imaginative ideas. They said the train must have been on the track. Just because you were at the bottom and looked upwards, it looked like the train was hanging. I said, I saw the space between the coach and the track. No, you must have made a mistake. They made me look like a fool. So I remained foolish and never talked to anybody. After I heard this story of a farmer in the United States, it certainly reminded me of my own experience. From then I've begun to believe there must be people beyond our universe. Why would there not be people living beyond our universe? A calculation by the law of probability, just by simple law which everybody accepts in mathematics today. A law of probability which makes millions of dollars for casinos in this country. That law, which has been accepted by mathematicians and scientists, says, considering the conditions of our planetary system, which created an Earth like this, on which life exists as we know it, looking at the galaxies known to us, about 1 billion galaxies known to us, and examining them, the chances by the law of probability of having Earths like ours is there has to be at least 38,000 Earths like ours in this huge space that we have. If that is the law of probability, why should we imagine we are the only ones living here? So I have begun to believe there must be other beings, and they have more advanced technology. We are a little behind them. And one day, we'll catch up with them. Maybe by that time, they'll go further ahead. Interesting story. You all like the story? I'm very happy I'm a storyteller.